Welcome to another episode of the Quarantine Chronicles. I'm your host, DG Bags, and today we have a super duper special guest. We're talking about a Southern legend, activist, rapper, entertainer, producer, legend, hopefully an author that we can get a book, you know what I'm saying, to get all this good knowledge in, you know what I'm saying, Mr. David Banner.
What's up with you, brother?
When I heard the God Box, it made me reassess what I was talking about, that it was more than just the lyrics or the way, the cadences and the things that I was creating. It was like I was missing some substance. So before I start, I want to say thank you so much for God Box.
I appreciate it, man. This is before I was had got on as a big time rapper. Me and KRS-One had got into a debate one time, and KRS-One, said hip hop. He gave all of these pillars of hip hop. He was like, it's culture, it's MCing, it's dance, it's graffiti, all of these different things. And I told him, I said, well, my homeboys do sell crack. Like, the best chicken in the city is in the strip club. It's not your culture. So the thing is that we just have to be honest about our life. If it's really hip hop, like if you a killer, you ain't killing every day. You got a daughter, talk about your daughter. Tupac and Face, much love to Uncle Face. They told black folks to smile. Where is the balance? I don't think all music should be positive music because all of our life isn't positive. I think people look at it wrong. God isn't evil or good. God is everything. God said, I am. So we get it wrong because of religion and think it's good or bad. It ain't good that the snake eat the rabbit. The rabbit don't do nothing to nobody. The rabbit don't do nothing to the lion. That's just the way things are. So what we need is balance, bro. That's all I feel like we need in music is balance. Because most of the time we be lying. If we keep it in 100, like most rappers say, we keep it in 100. You go to church on Sunday, talk in one of your songs. If you make 10 songs in one of your songs, should be about church. But we don't keep it 100. We keep it. We keep it as much as we can to support white supremacy without knowing it. Hip hop is the right hand of white supremacy, and we're not even smart enough to know it. Like if you're gonna be a white supremacist, at least acknowledge it so you can, sign up and get some benefits from it. But like if you, I mean, and I am not an exception to the rule. Like that goes for me too. So if all you talk about is black death and pimping and hoeing black women, and they said 90% of black radio has detrimental music to black people. No other race of people does that. But the problem is we don't even know it. So for me, it's not about making positive music. It's not about being a gospel rapper or being a black power rapper. It's just about bringing balance to the music. Because if you remember back in the day, you know, for every Chuck D, you have Flavor Flav. For every Andre Benjamin, you had Big Boy. Even look at the balance in the Ghetto Boys. That was balance, bro. That was a trinity. You feel me? I just did a hip hop documentary, and I told them, as much as they say that it's a Southern thing or it's this or it's that, Run DMC was the one running out trying to get features with every rock group that they possibly could. The biggest hip hop groups in the world started doing music with Mariah Carey and Mary J. Blige and everybody else they could. So, when they criticize these groups, we are only a direct example of what our forefathers did or did not teach us. So it's not these kids' fault. My generation and Tupac generation said money over everything. So these kids listen. So don't be mad now. The problem is that they sold hip hop culture to them white record labels, and they scared to admit it. and
Mm-hmm.
it just bled down to us, and we ended up benefiting better than anybody else did. We perfected it. So don't let people ever make you feel that. What happened is that the South just happened to be in the driver's seat when the commercialism of black culture really manifested in America.
Mm-hmm.
And it had nothing to do with us, because if you notice, every rapper from every city started going for the money. Everybody did. And it
Mm-hmm.
had nothing to do with the South. So it's not about, East Coast morals. It's about capitalism. It's about commercialism. That's all this shit is about. Don't ever let anybody fool you about that.
Thanks, man. Good game. Drop the jewel
Negroes
for real.
Negroes want money.
Mm-hmm. It ain't never changed. It ain't never changed. So, when growing up in Mississippi in the time when you grew up and now, do you see any difference in the racial tension than when you came up versus now?
No, man. Let me tell you something. White boys from Mississippi are the best white boys on this planet. If the white boys from Mississippi love you, they'll die for you. If they hate you, they'll try to kill you. At least you know where you are.
Mm.
You
No
know, it
gray
ain't
area with.
it ain't no gray areas, and that's all you can ever ask for. Is the
Mhm,
truth. You don't want to be kicking it with somebody, and you work at their company, and then they didn't spent up all your pension.
mhm,
I just want people to be honest. That is the thing that I like about Trump administration the most. He has ripped the veil off of America. America has historically always been the same. That's why I get so tired of black folks always acting like they surprised when these white folks do something to them. They've been the same since the beginning of time, dude. Then you gonna trust them about what they tell you about COVID? When the American government, not any, no, not some arbitrary person, put syphilis in our people, at
mhm,
Tuskegee. Come on, man, quit it, dude. I don't understand why we can't tie together that it's a systemic racial problem in America. It always has been. And the reason why hip hop is the way that it is because we act just like the white folks. It wasn't personal.
mhm,
It was about economics. They tried to do it to the Native Americans. It didn't work, so they went and got us.
mhm,
And the fact is that most black people want to be white, and so we act like white people, and then we wonder why we so messed up, dude. So the racial tension don't have nothing to do with anything. If you go back and look at it historically, Abraham Lincoln said if there was any other way that he could have won the Civil War outside of freeing blacks, he wouldn't have. But that's
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 right.
what he had to do in order to win, and he did what it took to win. Come on. The Republicans and the Democrats are no different. I can't stand black folks who swear by being Democrats. In actuality,
Mhm,
back in the day, the Democrats were the ones that were the evil ones. And so
mhm,
Democrats and Republicans are part of the same, no matter whether it's right wing or left wing, they're part of the same damn bird.
mhm.
You feel
Yep.
me? Democrats don't do
Mhm,
nothing, historically have done nothing for black people. Some middle class black people benefit a little bit better, and rich black people benefit a little bit better from Republicans. But the truth is, it does nothing for our people as a whole. Chris Rock said it better. I am a thinking being. Just propose what you have to propose, and I'll make a decision. But Democrats ain't gonna
mhm,
never do nothing because we give our constituency away for free. That's no different than a woman if she give you the if she give you the ass without taking her out on a date or giving her respect or anything else, then you always gonna call her at 1:30 at night.
Facts.
It's no different. Same thing with men. If you don't hold yourself with respect, people are not gonna treat you with respect. And the way that you earn respect is by saying no. What makes you a man or woman is not what you say yes to, is what you say no to. I said it on Instagram a little while ago. It went a little viral. I said you are a slave to whatever you can't fast from. If you can't fast from it, you're a slave to it.
Mm. So if you can't fast from it's even something as small as candy and sugar, you're a slave to the sugar.
We are slaves to air. If somebody take your air away from you, you do whatever it takes to get hey, I fasted. I fasted for 24 days, 17 days on just on water and just non-solids. I think it was 27 days on like non-solids and 2 salads. I think I had. So like if something happened, I could fast from food. I can't fast long from no air. I
Right.
haven't quite mastered that one yet.
What was that experience like, that fast? What did you go through? Your body, your mental, your spiritual? What was that fast like?
I tell people all the time that I tell black folks all the time Jesus ain't gonna never come back. And then I hold that for a minute, let them freak out. Then I come back and tell them I really think the story of Jesus was to show you that you could be God on earth. The problem is that black people want somebody else to bear their cross. Ain't nobody gonna bear your cross. Black kids in America are not white people's responsibility. Why would you want your oppressor? Why would you even trust your oppressor to feed you? One of the ways that I think Southern people have let down America's black people is that none of us want to farm anymore. It's like, well, you gonna leave your food to your enemy? You gonna leave your water to your enemy? Like that don't make sense to me. The West Coast cats should be on technology. You know what I'm saying? East Coast cats probably be on entertainment. The West Coast cats should, Mid South cats should open back up those factories again. Like we should do what our people are great for, and kids frown upon farming. What? What's food anyway? What ain't Hot Pocket of food?
Your microwave.
We barely even know our food groups anymore. But my point is that I believe that Jesus was an example that we could be God on earth. But we want to say Jesus died for us, so we don't want to fast for 40 days and 40 nights. I make people laugh all the time. I said, I didn't fast for 40 days. I fasted for 27. I don't know if I heard God's voice, but I damn sure heard, I'm hungry. I heard something.
You heard his other growling.
But to be honest with you, the clearest I've ever been, bro, I fasted from sex for 3 months. I didn't have any sex, no hand job, no head, no porn hub, no nothing for 3 months. That's the clearest mentally I've ever been in my life. That 27-day fast I had after, this is something I don't tell many people, man, that I researched and I found. There is a higher form than your mind. If you notice, or your brain, I should say. Your brain, I don't know what we call this, but I read about it in a book. Have you ever noticed all of these thoughts that be going around in your head? What is that thing that chooses out of all of the thoughts that's in your mind? We've never named that thing.
Right.
That's your higher self. So everything on and in your body is trying to gain control. Can I cuss or not?
Yeah, yes. This your show. This your show.
Thank you. I've been wanting to cuss. I'll be holding it. Your dick is trying to control your higher self, your flesh from trying to get food, your mind, your eyes, your ears, everything is trying to control your higher self. So in order to allow your higher self to grow, you got to fast from those things. You got to go sit somewhere quiet. You got to stop eating. You got to stop fucking. You got to say no. That's what makes you mature. That's what makes you a god. A dog says yes to everything. Fasting is what makes you a god. Pain is what refines you. But what I'll tell you about the human body, once your body knows that you are the god of its existence, then it stops whining. It's just like a baby who not hurt or that hadn't pooed on itself. If you let that baby cry, that baby gonna shut up after it know you ain't that it doesn't control you. But
Mm-hmm.
if you come every time that baby scream, that baby control you. You're not the father no more. That baby controls you. It's the same thing with your body, your wants and your urges. Bro, sometimes I say no to things that I deserve
Wow.
just so I won't get spoiled. And I can have just about any, I can have one of just about anything in this world. I make enough money. I can have one. I mean, I can have two. I ain't on that level yet, but I can have one of just about anything I want. And I still say no.
Wow, that's profound. That is profound. When did you get that enlightenment?
Bro, I've always been a different child. Like, my mom said when I was little, I used to have anxiety. Like when I was 4, I would have anxiety attacks about forever, about existing forever. It's funny. Me and Ti had this conversation. Ti is so fucking smart, dude. Um, Killer Mike is so smart, but I was telling Tip one time, man. I think I was supposed to be in the physics, bro. I love physics, but it physics wasn't conducive to my neighborhood. I think music. I think that's why we did so well in music, because music was one way for us to show our smarts without being laughed at, as long as we didn't show too much.
Right.
You know, Scarface is a genius. DMX, I'm talking about on paper, is a genius. Lil Wayne went to school in Texas, made all A's. He's a fucking
Mm-hmm.
genius. And so I think a lot of times, man, that we just get more and more comfortable with being our God self. And the more power you have, the more money you have, the more you can be. My homeboy Salih, that's on this. Matter of fact, for all of y'all, make sure that you go and check out the David Banner podcast. Go and subscribe right now. Even if you're gonna look at it on YouTube, I need you to subscribe. Need you to give us 5 stars and write a review, because that helps us to get advertisers. And then if you're gonna watch it, you go to A Banner Vision. That's my YouTube page, A Banner Vision, and subscribe there too. But what I was saying was, Salih said something from off of the David Banner show. He's one of the hosts on the David Banner show. He said, David Banner, I don't give a shit what nobody say. If you get rich and end up being a hoe, it's because you was a hoe your whole life. And being rich, most black folks think that they get past our people. Like, I really believe that some of these motherfuckers need to ass whoop, dog. But the
Mm-hmm.
problem is you can't really whoop their ass, because if you whoop their ass, then people would think that's the way, and then everybody would be around here arbitrarily whooping ass. We need a council, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the one thing, that's one of the things that I did like about old school gang banging. Like, you had to go to your regent, you had to go to your elders, you know, unless somebody
Mm-hmm.
was shooting at you directly, you had to go seek counsel. Because there's ramifications and fallouts to everything that you do in life. I have a saying, bro. I don't care what it is. I believe that there isn't an infinite amount of energy in the universe. I think there's a finite amount of energy, and you don't get energy. Like, if you get money, somebody is losing money somewhere in this universe. If you get
Right.
power and success, it's just a shifting of energy. So anything that you do on this planet, you got to pay for it some kind of way. Somebody's gonna pay for it, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. That's heavy. That's profound. And it's wow. That adds up. That makes sense. I agree. I agree. I see you got that Comeback Jack hat on. What's up, man? You know, rest in peace, Comeback Jack. Man, I used to love his podcast. He did a lot
Yeah,
for us,
man.
man.
He was the first black man I ever seen. He was in the podcast way before anybody. So
Correct.
every chance I get, and I'm so happy that you know who he is, man, and you had a respect. Like, I've been on 2 Combat Jack shows, man, and he was giving game and knowledge to us. He knew something early, way before we did. So anytime I get a chance, if you go back to my very first podcast, I wore his hat. That was the first hat.
Hmm.
I didn't wear a David Banner hat. I didn't wear a Banner Vision hat. I wore Combat Jack. And that's also a way for me to give um respect to the ancestors. And what I mean by ancestors, as far as black podcasts are concerned, if
Mhm.
he's not the founder, he's definitely one of the forefathers, one of the elders, if not the elder.
Yeah.
So I got this when I went on his show, and anytime I get a chance to wear it and keep his name alive, I do. And it make me feel even better when I don't have to say nothing. You said it, I didn't.
Hmm. Yeah, Comeback Jack, hip hop lawyer. That's Black excellence in the flesh. You know what I mean? Been in since the '90s, like a real part of hip hop, a part of everything we got going on. Like I love Company. Like I was hurt when he passed away. You know, he gave Taxstone opportunities. He gave a lot of people, like he started running that network like a label. Like you can sign a podcast deal. Like he was providing opportunities and giving game and showing how to run podcasts, not leaving blank spaces. Asking the obscure questions, you know what I'm saying, and getting something out of it, making the conversation, for making the interview feel like a conversation versus an interrogation. Like I love Comeback Jack.
Can I tell you something that I'm doing that I
Mm-hmm.
usually don't say, but I want some people to see it?
Mm-hmm.
And I know nobody's never done this. If you listen to my podcast sounds like a song. I mix my podcast like we mix. I got a professional mixer. I mix my podcast. So when you hear the beats and the music, I want my podcast to sound like a world, bro. When you put your headphones on or you bump it in the car, I want it to sound like a whole nother world, bro. Like effects. We have effects, everything, bro. Like I want to do something and create a place where people, like, even a lot of people are surprised when they listen to my podcast. Most people thought my podcast was gonna be Black Power times 1 million, right? And what I realized, bro, is your true prayer is what you talk and think about the most. So I'm tired of talking about death. I I don't think that white people are supreme to us. So I'm trying to stop saying white supremacy. They're not supreme to us. We are prisoners of war. We're
Mm-hmm.
gods. So like I'm sick of being depressed and mean and mad all the time. I went and got my friends, bro, and we have a great time and we teach at the same time. I trick people into knowledge of self. You know, like I gave an example. I had Anthony Broder on, who's one of my mentors, who actually wrote the book that started me on the path to knowledge of self. And I knew he was coming, so we tricked off two episodes that just had a great time because I
Mm-hmm.
knew I wanted to rock people to sleep, and then we dropped it on their ass.
Boom.
And he told me that his business grew 700% after he came on my podcast. And that means more to me than anything on this planet, bro. Then he turned around and bought the advertisement for the next shows. He bought every advertisement slot from me. So he took the money that I earned for him and gave it right back to me. And I'm gonna find a way to give back to him.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, I was just
Let me
talking to
ask you a question.
see.
Hold
No,
on,
go
hold
ahead.
on. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Why did you deem me worthy of your show?
Well, it's a lot of reasons. I feel like you all purpose, like you make beats, like David Banner can go to the studio by himself and come out with a whole album. That's genius. You know what I'm saying? You went to college. You started off in a group. They don't know what it was like being from the South, not just the South, Mississippi. Nobody was coming out
Well,
of
say that
Mississippi.
again.
Not just the South, Mississippi. Nobody was coming out of Mississippi in the '90s and
Hey,
going up there
hey,
to the
hold
East
on one
Coast.
second. I want to give a shout out to Trinity Garden and Odd Squad,
Mm,
because when we used to come to Texas, like Devin is on the God Box too.
that's right.
Because me and Devin have known each other, bro, almost 30 years.
Mm.
You know, I used to come down here way, way, way back in the cut, man, and that was two of the groups in Texas that like Blind Rod. Me and him still talk sometimes.
Stop.
You know, Jug Bug, like bro, bro, I've been through so much, man, and I just wish sometimes, man, that I had more time. Like, bro, I had this idea, man, that I wanted to come down and do my podcast with all the people that I knew in Texas, like especially Houston. But you just don't be knowing how people feel about each other. You know what I mean? Like, bro, my relationship with Flip and all the stuff I've been through with Flip, you know, Chameleonaire, bro. Uncle Face. Uncle Face was the first person to try to sign me. But Jimmy Iovine wasn't moving quick enough. And then Scarface was like, man, fuck y'all. And said, Banner, hang up. And he hung up. And then I was like, hey, I got to go it up. Then I hung up.
Was this Def Jam South?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And about 6 years later, Jimmy Iovine saw me. There was a blackout in New York when all the electricity went out in New York. Everybody was standing in the middle of the street, and Jimmy Iovine walked up to me and said, David Banner, I just didn't see it. I never forget
Wow.
that. I don't even think I told Uncle Face that. You know, man, and to be able, my little cousin showed me this, man. Like all the time that I spent, in Texas, all the time I spent in Atlanta, all the time that I spent in Alabama and Tennessee and like just trying to get on in Oklahoma, man. Like my cousin showed me I was a part of so many different parts of hip hop quietly that people don't know. There's some things about me that I'm gonna let Michael Watts tell. I'm gonna do a documentary one day, and it's not for me to say, but there's some things that I did that don't nobody know that I did. But I'm gonna let Michael Watts say it because he said it one time, and it made me feel so good. And I was even surprised that he remembered and said that. Man, my relationship with Pimp C, and like man, it's so crazy, bro. Pimp C and UGK, bro. Like Pimp C was my friend, bro. You don't know how it feels, dog. Like I refuse, even though I'm David Banner, I'm still gonna be a fan of hip hop.
Right.
Bro, you don't know how it feels to the people that influence you that they really your fucking friends. Bro, there was a time, man, where me and Snoop stayed in his Snoop's getaway spot was in the same building that my building was in, bro. And I used to walk down the Snoop apartment and knock on the door and get me something to eat and then be like, all right, and then go back to my crib. But that was still Snoop. I'm gonna tell you something else, bro. One time my Bentley broke down and Snoop was going on tour and he said he was like Banner. Cause Snoop, people don't know this. Snoop family's from Mississippi. I really think that's the reason why he looked after me like he did. Snoop was looking after me before I signed the deal, before Like a Pimp.
Wow.
And he said, he said, where that pretty car at? And I said, it's broke, huh? He threw me his keys and said, I'm going on tour for 2 months. Don't tear up my shit. Um, Pimp C before he died, man, he called my phone, man. I was living in LA and after I found out he was dead, I went back and listened to the message. He was like, Banner, I'm at LAX. Come pick me up, man. That shit fucked me up, bro. And like man, to even had these kind of stories, man. A lot of people don't even know, man. I did a song called Gangsta Walk. It was the first time that 3 6 Mafia and A Ball MJG had ever been on the same record. And then Stay Fly
Wow.
came out after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like man, to
Big
even
Memphis.
be to even be a part of any type of way, man. This game, man. I'm honored, man. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, you good, man. Hey, you giving number game. You know, I just want you to give you your flowers while you're here, and I'm pretty sure you're aware, but maybe you're not. You know what I mean? Like we watched you when you came in. You know, it's how you presented a brand of yourself is influential in us when we see it. So when you came out with the Mississippi, with the all right, hold up, just like Pimp C, you was unapologetically Southern. You know what I mean? You making your own beats, you rapping, you got your own style. We heard like a pimp, you know, we love the flip. So we see you come out like this. So we like, oh, he raw, he rugged. Then you did things like Play. Then I saw you in Black Snake Moan. Then it made us follow through it. Then you started speaking your mind. We started seeing about your activism and everything. It's
So
like, yo, this.
let me give you one that people never said nothing about.
Mm.
Get Like Me, the first verse of Get Like Me was an ode to Houston. Still screaming out, man, pistol in my hand, south side, so throw it in the game. Hey, but nobody, it seemed like nobody ever caught it, man. And it's sort of lame if you gotta say it. Like I sort of feel lame now, but
Yeah, no. Hey, we love the shout out. We want you to say it. Thank you,
oh
thank you. You know,
man,
because we love the David Banner here in H Town. You know what I'm saying? I just spoke
yeah,
with.
man.
It's crazy as I don't want to seem like I'm just throwing out names, but everything that you said, I had just spoke with somebody about what you said. I had just spoke with Lil Flip, did an interview, and we talked about Like a Pimp. I just did an interview with Big Gip, and we had this whole thing on Pimp C and how he holds him in such high reverence, like you do, and like how he looked up to him, became friends. Like, you know, I can listen to Pimp C stories all day because he was always silent. He always his principles and what he did. And he was just an amazing talent. You know what I mean?
Can I tell you something about Pimp really quick, man?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, Pimp was really becoming conscious, bro. He told me this. I don't think I may have said it one place, but I don't think I've ever said this before. Pimp told me, he's like, all right, I have said this before, but it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Pimp C was the only person I could go to who had been through what I had been through. Like most people were from a big city. You know, if you from Houston, y'all have rap a lot. Y'all had the
Mm-hmm.
Houston Rockets. Y'all had shit that y'all can look up to. Like if you from Atlanta, most people were from big cities, or at least claiming that they were from big cities. Pimp C was the only one with sustainable. Pimp C and Bun B were the only people that were from a small town like I was that had sustainable fame, bro. So there was some
Mm-hmm.
things that I was going through that didn't nobody understand, man. And
Mm-hmm.
Pimp C was the one that helped me through those times. And Pimp C would always say, "You smart, Banner. You smart. You got to give people a minute, man. Give them another like a pimp. Give them a chance to catch up." You should say that to me all the time. You say, "Banner, you smart, bro. Like, like people not on what you on yet. Let them catch up to you, bro. Just you gotta throw them a little bit of sugar, dog. Throw them a little bit. You know what I mean? You can't just give them meat all the time, bro. You throw them a little bit of sugar on top of that sometimes and let them digest it." And but Pimp was really becoming, I mean, conscious and revolutionary, bro. That's why he was trying to bring Texas together, bro. Stop all this beef and shit, man. Let's come together and get on their bread wagon. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing that Pimp told me, he said, "But Banner, it's gonna take me a little bit longer because of what my foundation is." And man, my
Mm-hmm.
foundation is hustlers and dope dealers and pimps. And he's like, "Bro, that's my foundation. Those are my like that's what my foundation is, and it's gonna take me a little bit longer to, you know, for my people to catch up with me." Like he was basically telling me, "You've always been smart. From day one, you basically have always been on, you know, whether people knew it or not, I've always been on revolution. You know, I've always been on
Mm-hmm.
God. That ain't just most people only listen to the single that's on the radio."
Mm-hmm.
But Pimp used to always tell me that, man, it's just gonna take a little time. And I'm watching our people wake up now. But the only problem is that our enemies see our people waking up too, and they'll, you know, give them a couple Black Panther movies and let a couple black people have a couple TV shows, and
Give him a black
we back to
presidency.
sleeping again. Yeah.
I
How you gonna have a black president that don't do nothing for black people?
always said that.
I don't get that. I don't. Me and Ti had a long conversation about that, man. Like I'm that's one of the things I'm the most proud of, and I'm happy about it in my hip hop is like how where me and Ti's relationship has grown to. Like the conversations that we have is grown man talk. And me and
Mm-hmm.
Tip was talking on the phone one time, and I told Tip, I was like, Tip, I'd rather my son be like you than Obama. He was like, huh? I was like, bro, at least you are who you are. If you fuck up, you gonna admit it and you gonna stick to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't if you just because you're a black president, but you don't do nothing for black people, I don't want my child to be like that. I'd rather my child be like Slim Thug.
Mm-hmm.
Open up businesses and employ black people and still be who he is. If he gonna pull up, if he gonna smoke, whatever, he's still employing black people. That's what I want. That's what I want my children to stand on what they stand on. Just because you a black skin president that owns the most evil country or is the head of the most evil country that still does your people the way that it does, and you say nothing or do nothing about that. Let's not talk about another black man. My fault, bro. Wait, but let me add something that to that for you. The
Mm-hmm.
problem with that is this. And I said this about Hillary and black folks got mad at me. Well, Trump is Trump is a caricature. He hadn't done shit. As much as people talk shit about Trump, he ain't done nothing but fuck up shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary Clinton, the Clinton family put over 600,000 black people in prison because of laws that Clinton passed. A lot of the laws that put black and Latino men in jail, they thought Bush passed them or Reagan passed them. No, Bill Clinton, saxophone playing ass. I even heard some Negro say he was the first black president. Man,
Man,
that
please.
Negro from Arkansas. Them crackers just like they are in Mississippi. Bill Clinton don't care nothing. He's just smooth. He just
Mm-hmm.
he know how to play the game. So
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that the Clinton family is more of a threat to Black America than Trump is.
Mm-hmm.
And because we are emotional, we don't even see that. We don't see that. Like literally, the Clinton family. Think about how many black kids are not on this earth right now
Mm-hmm.
because of the Clinton family. She called us super predators out of her own mouth, dog. So you know how she really feels. And just because she put some hot sauce in her purse and eat some chicken, let me tell you something, bro. This is what I tell black folk, and they get mad at me sometimes. Black folks put too much religion in their business and in their politics. I don't care if it's a Klans member. You vote for who is going to do the most for your people. Democrats don't care about black people because black people are whores to them. You've
Mm-hmm.
already given up the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Until you withdraw and make them fight for your vote, or I feel like politicians are whores. So since they're whores, you pay for the puss, and if they don't act right, you beat them up. Period.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I like
You motivate them,
that.
whether it's socially, physically, however. But until we start investing, we be too much on this church stuff, dog. I tell my Muslim friends were the reason why I started having a disdain for Obama, because my Muslim friend said if you can't write it on a sheet of paper, it doesn't exist. If they let a couple people out of jail, that's cool because we all got somebody that's locked up. But if it's not sustainable for the everyday black person, you've been duped. So if you want
Mm,
hope, go to church. If you want a role model, go to the Boys and Girls Club.
mm,
Like if you can't write it down,
mm,
Obama gave the descendants of Jewish people in America $12 million, and your people were in the Holocaust, and you gave them nothing but hope. But the cool thing about Obama is he never lied. That's all he ever said he was going to give Negroes.
mm. Right, hope. Ain't that something? You broke that down. That's heavy.
Hey, let me tell you something. Because bro, I really like who you are and I'm proud of you, bro. It's not hard, bro. The way we look at stuff and so-called smart people, they overtalk you so you can continue to give them money and praise them. Most people want you to believe in what God they believe in because they know more about the God. If you start believing in what they believe in, people just want to control you. Bro, this stuff is not hard, bro.
Mhm.
I told black people, if you don't make Obama agree to something before you vote for him on the second term, he's going to dupe you. And me and my mama, we got in the worst argument we have ever got. Go back, I was on BET. I
Hmm.
said we need a black agenda. Me and my staff went and wrote a black agenda, and BET didn't even let me read it on. They had me to go do all that work. I came back and they didn't let me read it. And I said on TV, if we don't get Obama to agree to a black agenda, y'all gonna walk away with nothing. And me and my mama cussed me out. We got the first black president and blah blah. We got to the me and my mom never argued like this before. My mama came back about 6 years ago and she said, son, I can't even lie to you. My mom's a Christian pastor. You can imagine how
Hmm.
many fights we done had. My mama came to me. I can't lie. She said she was right about Obama. And I was like,
Wow.
damn, mama. I actually
Yeah.
didn't even want her to tell me
I didn't
that I
want to
was
be
right.
right. I
Because
didn't want to
I
be right
hated
about
that
that
I
one.
was right, you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm. You said something earlier too that I agree to, and I make people mad about this as well. I say the only thing that I like about Trump, then I pause because they like, you like something about Trump? I say I like that he is who he is. What I hate being from the South, I can't stand covert racism. I don't like looking at you and not knowing if you don't like me. I don't like going there knowing like he might spit in my food or he not hiring me on his job, not because I'm not qualified or because it is like he put it right there. So at least you know where you stand. When you go to war, you know what's going on.
I never said this. I never said this to nobody because people grab pieces of what you say and then
Mm-hmm.
put it out in the world. Bro, Trump is just a bad person, dog. Trump don't care
Mm-hmm.
about his family. He don't care about his wife. He don't care about white folks. He don't care about black folks. Trump is just a bad person, bro. If you go back, and I want you to promise me that you're gonna do this. You promise?
Sure, sure.
Go
Promise.
back and Google Trump in the 80s when he was a Democrat. It's on YouTube if they ain't erased it. He said, if I ever ran for president, I would turn Republican and use middle America's ignorance against them. Right before he started running for president, he used to hang out with 50 Cent and all them all the time. He ain't do nothing but hang out with Negroes and rappers.
Right. Do roasts and on
Yeah,
on
all
Comedy
that.
Central. Yeah.
Yeah, he stayed with the basketball players and the hoes and the pimps and the. Come on, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
we don't study, bro. Like if we ever meet, I'm gonna tell you some stuff that I figured out about Trump. And
Mm.
black people may lose the best opportunity that they've had in history if we were smart and if we really knew how to play politics. And I know how to do it, but I don't know if our people as a whole are in the mind space to hear it. Because if they heard it, it would be the same way when you just said it was something that I like about Trump. Black folks stop listening.
Mm-hmm.
But if we ever meet, I'm gonna tell you something that I figured out. Um, that we could actually a way that we could use this shit and win. I mean, and really win. But it would take. Let me tell you something. I don't really think Black America wants a leader. I think they
Mm-hmm.
just want to get back to the way that it was. Most Negroes just want to go to work, go to church, and die.
Mm-hmm.
As long as ain't nobody beating on them and killing their kids, they don't give a fuck. I'm thinking about writing a book, and in my book, I wrote down I think it was 6 or 7 types of Black people in America. You
Mm-hmm.
got you got the Boule Negro, who is the sellout. You know, most of the motherfuckers that got a good spot in America that ain't gonna do shit for black folk. Then you got the everyday get along gang, like how most of our parents were. They just want to work at the post office, get their pension, retire, and die. They don't really want no smoke from nobody. They don't want smoke from the gang members, the police. They just want to live, eat shit, and die, right? Then you got the niggas. I ain't gotta explain niggas to you. You just got the niggas. Cause I tell you something, and bro, I trust who I think you are. So I'm giving this to your show because of who I think you are.
Thank you so much.
So the white man has the Ku Klux Klan, right?
Correct.
All of our alpha males are either in gangs, football players, or basketball players, or in the white man's army. So who is protecting the black man? Or
No
woman or
cavalry.
child? Or
We
they're
don't have no
fucking
cavalry.
policemen. Or they're fucking policemen. I'm talking about the strong black men who don't give a fuck. Who's protecting us, bro? Nobody. Just about every black man that is strong and that has any wherewithal, he is in some way connected to white supremacy. I've never said
Wow.
that on anybody's show.
Whether
But
subconsciously,
if I'm wrong, debate me. Don't get mad at me, because what we do is when people talk their real shit to us, we just get mad and kill them or beat them up. Don't get mad at me, debate me. Tell me where I'm wrong. So who's protecting the black man? Most black men have found a way to invest. Even me as a rapper, I make more money when I talk about killing niggas. Or make real girls get down on the floor, like a pimp.
Right.
Run, girl, I'm trying to get your pussy wet. Work that. Come on now.
Top of the charts.
Hey,
Over
Chevy with butterfly. See, white supremacy pays. White supremacy pays black people guilt trip. We got to stop guilt tripping and showing these kids, we'll pay you if you're a good man or a good woman. We'll pay you if you ain't a hoe, if you ain't killing your own people. But we don't want to pay. We'll get them crackers all our money. We'll buy Gucci. We'll go see their movies. If David Banner make motherfucking Wakanda, would you pay for it? I don't know. We'll see. I'm coming.
with the sponsors.
Bitches.
And you speak a lot about that on God Box too. Why I say it was so eye-opening and put there. I had read when I was younger, St. Francis of Assisi said that we all drops of water in the same pond. So if you truly, truly know yourself, you know everyone else. So there's a David Banner in all of us. You know what I mean? How can we channel that? What do you think that you can do to channel that? Because the same information that I received and I got it from you, hopefully when I put this out there, we will also change lives and reach the same people the same way. But what do you think there's more that you can do or that you haven't done that can reach everybody in touch?
If you really know the concept, did you ever see the cover of the God Box?
Yes.
Do you know what the God Box meant?
No, you can explain it.
I'm not going to explain it. You got to figure it out.
I just thought, like you said, I thought it was a higher country. Go ahead.
Listen to me. KRS-One said this to me when he came on a podcast. He said, your only true purpose on this earth is to illuminate yourself. You become conscious. The only person you know that exists on this earth is you. I might be a figment of your imagination. I may be a dream. I may be a droid. What's the motherfuckers that these crackers be making? Because they can't reproduce fast enough. When they take your DNA and remake them a clone. I might be a clone.
Cloning.
You don't even know if I exist. The only person on this planet, that's consciousness, is to know that you exist. And you are the only thing on this planet that you know that exists. Work on you. You are the God Box. That's the only clue that I'm going to give you. Don't worry about nobody else. If you shine enough, the only problem with me is I flicker. I tell people all the time, I know that I'm a god, but my default is nigga. So sometimes I fall into my nigga tendencies. Hence this Hennessy. I still beat a bitch ass. I mean, but the bitches. I don't mean females. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm serious though, man. But it's balance. The problem is that we tried to give other people consciousness when we not conscious yet.
Take care of yourself first.
Take care of you and your children. If everybody, let's say if everybody on this planet went outside and cleaned up their yard or cleaned up the building that they worked in or lived in, the world would exponentially be clean, right? Because everybody is doing their job. A Christian preacher in Mississippi told me, David Banner, you want to know why you always end up on the cross? And I said, why? He said, because you're always trying to play Jesus. It ain't your responsibility to save everybody. Save yourself first. Show me what that looked like. That's the reason why I started building businesses. And if you want to help kids, employ them. Bro, let me get out of here, man. I talked to you way longer than I had time. All right, we'll do it again, bro. I want you to know that I'm proud of you, man. And I know sometimes if you think anything like me, that sometimes you feel lonely. But the reason why you're lonely is because you need more time to spend with God. That's why any smart man, any man that's ever been in the Bible, the Quran, any smart book, when they wanted to get close to God, what did they do?
Fast. They went
up in the mountains. They went out in the forest. They got in the closet or something. And sometimes, bro, I feel lonely, but I realize that means I get to spend more time with God. And that's the reason why I have these epiphanies. And that's the reason why I'm able to give it to other people. If I had a family and one of my friends said, because I've always wanted 7, 8, 9 kids and a wife. I've always wanted to be married. Like contrary to most opinions. But my Muslim friend told me, he was like, bro, if you was married, you would never be the man that you are. They could kidnap your kids or anything. He said, the fact that you are alone, you are for the people. They're all you have. They're your children. Not saying a child, my kids or anybody else, my kids, but I understood what he meant. And I just want you to know that it's okay. That loneliness actually means that you're on the right path. Because if you had too many people around you, my mom used to say, if you don't bump into the devil 3 times a day, 9 times out of 10, you walking with him. Love you, bro. Be safe, man.
I love you too, Mr. Banner. I appreciate everything, man. Man, thank you so much. You don't know how much you talk directly to me. You touched my soul, man. Just thank you so much.
Just do me a quick favor. If anything ever happened to me, just don't let them lie on me, bro. Like, they turn our heroes into liars, man. I come to find out, man, Martin Luther King was conscious, dog. Like, his son told me, like, Martin Luther King was conscious, but they took one speech, and that's what they turned him into. They turned Malcolm X into a hat. Everybody wearing an X hat, but don't nobody know what it means. Don't nobody want to be a Muslim, but they want to wear an X hat. You feel me? Just don't let them lie on me, bro. Like, don't let them make me too bad, and don't let them make me too perfect. Just let them be balanced. That's the reason why I don't mind doing this. I still struggle with my demons. You know what I mean? Amarion said that when he came on my show. He said, I'm not perfect, Banner. He said, I still get mad. I still get angry. My feelings still get hurt. He said, I just process it internally before I act. What were you going to say? I cut you off. My apologies.
No, that's great. That's great now. So listen to what you're saying, because that's what Amarion is saying. That's what a man does. It takes I know some men 40 years old can't do that. That's when you know you a man, when you're able to process and you think, you don't act off emotion. That's a man speaking right there, man. I salute Amarion, because, there's things that happened to him that was put in the world. you know what I'm saying? A lot of black men, we can't take embarrassment like that. You can't take somebody in your neighborhood did or something to put it on the world. Amari, that's a man. I'm glad that you said that. For real.
Farrakhan, I learned something from Farrakhan. Before Farrakhan says anything, he always goes. Then he speaks. Imagine if a black man took 2 seconds and took one breath, how many black men wouldn't be in the penitentiary right now?
Wow.
Not 2 breaths. But you know what?
Just a single.
You disrespect me, pop, 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 pop. Or we jump on the fool or whatever. We ride. Imagine taking a deep breath and then react. How many people would matter of fact, not even in the graveyard.
Grave, yeah. All right, yo, we're wrapping up another episode of Quarantine Chronicles. I'm your host, DG Bags. I want to say thank you again. Thank you so much to our special guest, man. I hope y'all got a lot of game, a lot of jewels dropped from Mr. David Banner. As you can tell them, Mr. Banner, where they can find you, where they can see your movies, everything that you got coming up, contact you.
Just David Banner. The biggest thing is go to davidbanner.com and buy something. That's the most important thing to me, man. Support. This is David Banner on the Core 94, bro. Some of the stuff I said here, I've never said anywhere.
And I appreciate it.
I want to be able to spray that.
There's no problem. We'll see the audio.
Man, it was your spirit. If I didn't feel it in your spirit, I would have been gone 40 minutes ago, dog. I was supposed to be gone 40 minutes ago.
Mr. Banner, I want to say this, but you don't even understand how much I get compared to you all the time. I've been told that I look like you for years. People, I always say, hey, David Banner, you like, oh boy, it look like David Banner. Like, so we always had a connection, whether you knew it or not.
You should have no problem getting no ass dead if you look.
Never have. Never. Never have.